I'm Lauren Sandler, and I've been nominated for a Director-at-Large position on the NCECA board. For years, I attended the NCECA conference and wondered, what is my place here? I asked first as a student, then as an artist, and later as an educator. Did others question their voice and place within ceramics? I talked with longtime participants and new attendees and discussed the many issues that cause dislocation and marginalization in institutional spaces. I gave a lecture at the Portland NCECA to address equity, representation, and race in ceramics, imperialisms old and new. It sought to participate in a ceramics discourse that amplifies those disappeared and distorted in the classroom, gallery, canon, and museum. This year, I hope to continue the conversation in Minneapolis with the panel I'm moderating called The Art of Radical Mentorship. This cooperative effort facilitates the movement of ideas and actions through a conduit of students and teachers with a permeable membrane of support and information. In my work as artist and educator, I investigate power and perspective in ceramics and use cultural context to understand content. My practice highlights those of us overlooked, implicates assumptions of normal and worth, and celebrates our interdependence on one another. I deconstruct mythologies and descent or dominant frameworks to examine the chronicles told through clay. Ceramics has always been a critical space, the site and act of resilience and resistance, criticism and commentary, objects loaded to address sweeping and specific subjects and endeavors. Clay asks, where do I exist within this material? How have stories been codified, altered, or discarded? Clay remembers, and NCECA is an opportunity to see the breadth and depth of hands that have worked it, hear the voices, and understand the abundance of narratives. NCECA is a resource to share stories during the conference and nourish relationships throughout the year. I see NCECA as a space to listen to the quietest among us, to those not in the room, and encourage ongoing connection. Clay as cultural material permeates our lives, from the dirt under our feet to the cup in our hand. Its ubiquity and specificity evoke the social and political, domestic space and public place, the private and shared. I make a home in upstate New York with my partner who, due to her disability, spends her time indoors. Her access influences our framework. How is her story in the room, pinched in the clay? We live in a rural, economically challenged area. The largest institutions are the prison and the Center for People with Disabilities. One isolates, the other empowers. We have critical choices as communities, and NCECA is part of that generative practice to creatively collaborate through art and education to ensure that voices are equitably heard. In service to the great expanse of ceramics, of multiple systems of knowledge, I would be grateful to work with the NCECA board to share in this process of thriving ecologies of thoughts and experience transforming through clay.